What a game. Liverpool versus Man United did not disappoint. Guys, we're going to review the whole game. An absolute thriller from two of the most historical teams in the country. And it was a game coming into it. I wasn't sure what we would get from Man United, to be honest with you. They have been on a very disappointing run. Amarin has come in and he didn't really get the full new manager bounce that you would have expected. However, if I'm being honest, we've seen a lot of improvements in his team, maybe not in the results. And Liverpool have been on an absolute tear as of recent, and they look like champions elect. I've called them champions elect. But this game, as many Liverpool versus Man United games, always throws up a surprise, and this was no different. Firstly, we're going to go through the lineups quickly, and then we're going to talk about the goings on during an intense 90-minute match. Firstly, looking at Liverpool again, we've spoken about how brilliant they've been, the form that they've been in, really excelled quite well. Back four is what you would expect: Van Dijk, Konate, Robertson, and Trent at the back. McAllister and Gravenberch at the base of the midfield, with Jones just ahead, as we know Szoboszlai has been injured, and Gakpo and Salah on the wings, with Luis Diaz up front, which has been what Liverpool have been running for the last couple of weeks. From a Man United perspective, again, similar in terms of shape. Three at the back: Martinez, Maguire, and De Ligt. A more, I would say, a more sturdy defence that we've seen as of recent. Diallo and Mazraoui in the wing back positions, offering, I would say, more defensive stability. Ahmad and Bruno in the, I would say, 10 positions, just behind Hoyland as well, and Nagate and Menu in the midfield as well. So strong teams from both Liverpool and Man United perspectives. No disappointments in terms of the starting teams, and both managers know what they expected from both teams and both systems. So as we go through the game, again, this was one that was highly contested. It was one that I believe many came into the game, including myself, thinking that Man United would get blown out. I was thinking maybe it might be a 4-0, 5-0, if I'm being honest with you. What they put up against Newcastle in the beginning of the game gave me that kind of thought process. However, in that second half against Newcastle, they did play a lot better, and this was almost like a follow-on of that and an improvement of that. In the first half, yes, Liverpool had the ball; they were playing pretty well. However, as the game went on, Man United started to show their quality. And if we look at the stats of the game overall, you can see that it was heavily contested. Yes, Liverpool had the better chances and should have taken advantage of those chances. However, Man United were definitely in the game. 19 shots compared to Man United's 13, 6 on target compared to Man United's 4. In terms of big chances, no big disparity there. 4 for Liverpool and 3 for Man United. Again, you wouldn't have expected Man United to have this much attacking impetus in a game like this. You would think Liverpool would have them on the back foot. They would be camped in their own area. They would look to try and counter, but a lot of it was Man United actually having the ball, playing with the ball, and that was a welcome surprise. I think one thing I've learned from this game, and not only this game, but Amarin is a manager for the big games. He is a big game manager. He knows how to set his team up in a way that is structurally sound. He shut down the wings again using Masraoui and a lot in this team with this back three, provided a lot more security. Menu and Agate should be the midfield two if you're going to run a midfield two. Yes, you're not going to get the creativity out of either of them, but they're essentially box to box, hard working midfielders who will get around the pitch and win the ball back for you and feed players like Bruno, feed players like Ahmad. And that is essentially what put Man United in a position that they were in. They won the ball back. I was surprised to see Martinez so high up the pitch in the second half before the goal. He was high up. Man United win the ball back, and a brilliant ball played by Bruno for the assist. Absolutely brilliant ball. How he picks Martinez out, I have no clue. But he picks him out, and Martinez unleashes an absolute thunderbolt of a shot. Alisson did not stand a chance, if we're being honest with you. Absolute brilliant strike from Martinez. Brilliant move from Man United, winning the ball high up in the pitch and then feeding it through very quickly. And they deserve to be leading at that point. Yes, Liverpool had the opportunities, but being at home, you would have expected a little bit more domination, a little bit more in terms of chances early on in the game before Man United scored, and that didn't transpire, unfortunately, from a Liverpool standpoint. But Man United were well worth their lead. They were combative. They showed a lot of heart in this game, and Liverpool had to bounce back, and they did very, very quickly. The goal from Gakpo came no more than 7 minutes after. Quick response by Liverpool, and that again shows the heart of a champion. Gakpo, who's impressed me very, very much this season, had an opportunity earlier in the game, was unable to take it. This opportunity, he did take it. It was a brilliant ball by McAllister, which was fed through to Gakpo again. The defense was split, but what I have to say is De Ligt, awful, 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 awful. And I'm saying it on a level where Gakpo is driving at him. De Ligt has a decision to make: stand tall and see what Gakpo is going to do, or dive in and tackle and lose all control of the situation. And he dived in and missed Gakpo by a wide margin, and Gakpo slotted it through a past Onana into the back of the net, and that is bitterly disappointing because Man United had tried very, very hard to establish themselves in the game, and giving up such a poor goal so quickly after leading the game and scoring that goal has to be a disappointment. De Ligt again. I've spoken about it. I'm not impressed, and I think the Premier League is probably one of the worst leagues he can be in, simply for because of how physical it is, simply because of how devastating the attacking players can be. I do worry about him, and he's proved those doubts to be correct. Not a good performance, and he compounded that later on with giving away a penalty. This time, handball. Could he have done much about it? Probably not. But you put your arm out and the ball hits it. It's a clear penalty. My issue is with the referee, Michael Oliver, who's meant to be one of the best referees that England has to offer. You've seen the ball hit him on the hand and you just played on. And I'm trying to understand why, because it wasn't a natural body position. His arm was quite far away from his body, and it takes VAR to pull that up as a clear and obvious error for Liverpool to be handed a penalty. That should have been called for a penalty immediately. And it's surprising because Michael Oliver hasn't been shy of doing that in a number of occasions with other teams. So again, very, very disappointing to see that we had to get VAR involved, but VAR did call it a penalty. It was very obvious it was a penalty, and Liverpool went 2-1 up with a slotted penalty from Mohamed Salah. Onana actually got pretty close to the penalty. However, Salah's quality with penalties was the difference maker in that instance. Salah got his goal. Liverpool 2-1 up. It looks like they were riding into the sunset, coming back from the jaws of defeat once again, and again showing the heart of a champion. You're 1-0 down at home against a team who have got some defensive stability now that Amarin is in, and they would, maybe take the opportunity to sit back a little bit. But Liverpool were on the front foot immediately, got that quick response with Gakpo, then with Salah, 2-1 up. It looked like they were cruising to a very, very comfortable 2-1, maybe 3-1 win. And it looked like Liverpool were running into the sunset. Honestly, I thought the game was pretty much dead and buried. I didn't think Man United could come back, but they still showed a hunger. They still showed a determination into the latter parts of the game to try and eke something out. And it was a combination of two of Man United's youngest stars at the moment. Garnacho, who hasn't had the best of seasons, delivered a slightly deflected cross into the box. Who was on the end of it? No man other than Amad Diallo, the man who scored against Man City twice, got his goal against Liverpool, and he continues to shine. At the age 22, I think he should be playing pretty much every game for Man United. Very, very impressive from him to get that goal, and it was well needed. It was a good performance from him. Him and Bruno really stood out in these two positions, and it was good to see him on the score sheet once again. But that goal was not the end of the drama by any means necessary. Again, looking at the momentum of the game, you can see once that goal went in, it looked like Man United might be able to actually snatch a winner before Liverpool took ascendancy once again. They had a chance from Van Dijk at a corner, literally point blank range, headed right at Onana. It looked like he would score, but it was an end to end back and forth game up until the point all the way at the end when Joshua Zirkzee, who had come off the bench, drove through the Liverpool defence, slotted it across to Maguire, and Maguire skied it over. The ball was bouncing. Yes, you probably do not want Maguire in that position. People were saying if Xerxes had his confidence, obviously after the tough time against Newcastle, then he would have probably cut in and struck it himself instead of passing to the centre back. However, Maguire was in a good position. He was in the better position, and unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be for Man United to get all 3 points. But they did put in a performance that they can definitely be proud of. We're going to take a quick look at the table. Liverpool, yes, dropped points. They are still 6 points ahead of Arsenal, and potentially, if Nottingham Forest win their next game, will still be 6 points ahead with a game in hand. So 9 point potential advantage for them. Man United, on the other hand, do climb up one place with West Ham losing, and they are in a position which I guess they can find commonality with Tottenham Hotspurs, two teams who did not see themselves being in this position at the beginning of the season, and so it's going to be a long climb up the table. But this is a good start for Man United. Their next game in all competitions is against actually Arsenal in the FA Cup, and so that should be very interesting. Liverpool will be playing next in the league against Nottingham Forest away, so that is a very, very crucial game, and points cannot be dropped here. I would say both by Liverpool and both by any teams who have aspirations of maybe usurping them for the title, because this is a crucial time where Liverpool are going to be facing a lot of tough teams, and whoever takes advantage of it can put pressure on them. But if they drop points and other teams drop points around them, then that pressure subsides. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this goes on. I still have Liverpool as favourites. They still have shown me the most out of any team, and we shall see how this goes into the second half of the season. Guys, hopefully you've liked this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. It's been EDA. Peace.